You're in the market for a new apartment, but you're having trouble deciding on the type of place to rent. Besides price, location, and amenities, you'll also have to decide whether you want to live in a bigger or smaller building. To help you with your apartment search, we prepared a brief description of the differences between high-rise and low-rise apartments. What is a high-rise apartment? Before we start our comparison, let's clarify what we mean when we talk about a high-rise apartment and low-rise apartment. In short, a high-rise typically refers to a building over a certain height or number of stories. The exact classification varies by country and organization. In India, for example, a high-rise starts at 4 stories. However, in the US, a high-rise is an apartment building with a height of at least 7 stories, as defined by the National Fire Protection Association. High-rises as apartment communities of 10+ stories in height. There's also a maximum height above which a high-rise becomes a skyscraper. This is typically any building over 40 to 50 stories. High-rise versus low-rise, which is better? Now that we have an idea of what is a high-rise apartment, it's time to talk about why you might want one. Advantages of high-rise apartments: they offer the best views. If you want stunning views of, say, the Manhattan skyline, you're only going to get that in a high-rise apartment. They also get more natural light. They are located in the city. If you work in the big city or simply love shopping and partying there, living in a high-rise apartment is the easiest way to cut down on your commute. They provide a doorman, security. Another advantage of high-rise living is a doorman, security, and other staff that are there to make your life easier and safer. They put the high in high-rise apartments. They always have elevators. If the idea of climbing 5+ stories of stairs makes you cringe, don't worry, because high-rise apartments always have elevators. Most buildings have more than one, to cut down on wait times. They offer more leasing options and vacancies. If you're looking for a flexible lease, like a month-to-month arrangement, you're much more likely to find it in a high-rise. Furnished apartments are another option often available in high-rise apartment buildings. They have easier utilities and maintenance. Most high-rise apartments are already wired for cable, internet, and the like, so getting set up is as easy as a phone call. Maintenance requests are often faster too, since they usually have an on-site property management office. Advantages of low-rise apartments: they are closer to the street. If you're always on the go or have an elderly or disabled person living with you, you'll appreciate how much easier it is to access your low-rise apartment. This can be even more important in the event of an emergency, like a fire or serious health issues. They have more amenities and parking. Unless we're talking about luxury high-rise apartments, low-rise apartment communities typically have more amenities, like pools and clubhouses, and more parking spaces. They provide better access to green spaces. Included in those amenities is plenty of green spaces. Low-rise apartments are much more likely to feature landscaped grounds, gardens, shade trees, walking paths, and other goodies for nature lovers. They are located in residential areas. Low-rise apartments are usually found in outer residential neighborhoods. Though this may add time to your commute if you work in the city center, there's typically less foot and vehicle traffic, less pollution, and a greater sense of community. They offer greater peace and privacy. While some people love the hustle and bustle of the big city, others just want some good old peace and quiet. The location and smaller size of low-rise apartments make them a better option for privacy. They may be cheaper and may offer negotiable rent. Although a low-rise building has fewer units, they're usually cheaper to rent because of their location, and landlords are much more willing to negotiate the price. Which floor should you live on? The pros and cons laid out above come with one important caveat. Some of the advantages and disadvantages of a high-rise apartment can change depending on the floor you're on. For instance, living on the first floor of a high-rise provides equal, if not better, access to the street as you'd have on, say, the third floor of a low-rise. On the flip side, that first-floor apartment isn't going to have the good views normally associated with taller buildings. If you're on a higher floor, like the 30th, you may actually have more privacy, less noise, and cleaner air than the ground floor in a low-rise. The perks of living on a higher floor: better views, more privacy, more natural light, less noise, fewer insects, better ventilation. The perks of living on a lower floor: easier street access, less walking, waiting, lower energy costs, more green spaces. Insight. Below are given affiliate links of some products in the description by me, where you can see them and purchase if you like them. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For getting more useful and interesting information, to subscribe to the Engineer AJ Lard's channel, How to Make Home.